Breaking news! Something very real is happening in Denver, and it's not just another offseason headline. The Broncos just went undefeated in the preseason for the second straight year, but this time, it feels different. There's a quiet storm building at Dove Valley, and if you've been paying attention, you know this isn't just about a couple of exhibition wins. We're seeing signs of a team that's deeper, faster, meaner, and maybe, just maybe, ready to shock the entire league. I've dug into every snap, every standout player, every adjustment Sean Payton is making behind the scenes, and what I found is going to flip how you view this team going into 2025. Before I break it all down, make sure you hit the like button, but only if you're a real Denver Broncos fan who never stopped believing, even during the rough years. And if that's you, drop a comment saying, "Go Broncos! We're coming for the Super Bowl." Now buckle up, because what I'm about to show you could be the beginning of something special. The vibe in Denver is electric right now. It's not just the wins, it's how we're winning. In the final preseason matchup, the Broncos walked into New Orleans and absolutely thumped the Saints. And while preseason games don't count in the standings, they reveal the hidden strength of a roster. The Broncos not only dominated physically, they showed depth, poise, and a quarterback who might just be the real deal, Bo Nix. Let's talk Bo Nix. The rookie stepped into the starting role and showcased why Sean Payton and the front office put their faith in him. Nix completed 10 of 14 passes for 110 yards and a touchdown in just 15 minutes of game time. But here's where it gets crazy. Extrapolate that performance over a full 60-minute game, and you're talking about over 400 yards and more than 3 touchdowns. That's elite production. One of the most jaw-dropping plays of the day was Nix rolling left, throwing across his body on the move, and hitting Courtland Sutton in full stride for a 43-yard gain. That's a throw only a handful of quarterbacks in the NFL can make. Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, and maybe Jaden Daniels. That throw wasn't just impressive. It was a statement, a signal that the Broncos' offense under Sean Payton is evolving, becoming more dynamic, more unpredictable. And Sutton? He's back in a big way. On a crucial 3rd and 1, with defenders draped all over him, Nix trusted Sutton to make a play, and he did. High-pointing the ball in the end zone, pulling down a contested catch that shut up all the chatter about whether he's still WR1 material. If Sutton stays healthy, he's poised for a monster season. And with the chemistry already brewing between him and Nix, fans should be excited. The advanced stats back it up too. Nix had 2 drops from his receivers, one from Evan Ingram and another from Sutton himself. Without those, he's 12 of 14. And if you extrapolate Sutton's 83 yards in just 16 minutes of play, we're looking at a 100-plus yard, multi-touchdown day. The connection is real, and it's growing. But it's not just the offense that's got people talking. The Broncos' defense looks terrifying. They've allowed only 3 total touchdowns over the entire preseason. That kind of defensive dominance isn't just rare, it's unheard of. And they did it without key players like Dre Greenlaw and Nick Bonitto even suiting up. Enter rookie pass rusher Quantez Robinson. If you haven't heard the name yet, get familiar. He was a wrecking ball against the Saints, exploding off the line, forcing a strip sack, and showing the kind of power and speed combo that makes offensive coordinators lose sleep. Teammate Nick Bonitto even called him a freight train, and that label fits. Add Robinson to a rotation that already includes Jonathan Cooper, Bonitto, Jonah Ellis, and DeAndre Tillman, and you've got a pass rush that could easily lead the league in sacks again this year. And then there's Pat Surtain too, still the best corner in the league. One play stood out where a wide receiver tried to shove him off the line with a nasty forearm, and Surtain didn't even flinch. Didn't give an inch. That's elite strength, technique, and awareness all wrapped into one. With Surtain locking down one side and young studs like Riley Moss and Jaquan McMillian stepping up, this secondary looks airtight. We also saw flashes from players fighting for roster spots. Pat Bryant showed route precision and awareness that you don't see from rookies. He sat perfectly in a zone window, showed strong hands, and looks like a true safety valve for whoever's under center. Then there's Uwazurike, leading the team in tackles and making his presence felt on a loaded D-line. Coming off a suspension, he's fighting his way back, and Sean Payton clearly hasn't lost faith in him. You can feel it, can't you? The buzz, the excitement, the possibility. This isn't last year's team. It's deeper, it's faster, it's more balanced. With young talent shining on both sides of the ball and a coaching staff that's finally building something stable, Broncos country is looking at its most promising roster in years. Because if Bo Nix is the guy, then we're not just talking about building for the future, we're talking about winning now. And Sean Payton knows it. This entire preseason game in New Orleans wasn't just a glorified scrimmage, it was a calculated test. A dress rehearsal for those early season East Coast road games where the Broncos will be playing at 11 a.m. Colorado time. Payton wanted to see how his team handled adversity, early wake-ups, and a game-time rhythm outside of their comfort zone. and from the looks of it, they passed with flying colors. Let's not overlook the discipline and energy on display from the defensive unit. Without starters like Dre Greenlaw and Nick Benito, you might expect to drop off, but the defense barely blinked. Jonah Ellis popped off the screen with his tenacity, and DeAndre Tillman continued to prove that he's more than just a promising rookie. He's a plug-and-play contributor from day one. The front seven was flying around, making plays, and making life miserable for the Saints offense. But Quantez Robinson was the one who truly stole the show. His first step quickness and explosiveness off the line are elite. The moment that ball is snapped, he's already a step past the offensive tackle. The strip sack he forced was just a preview of what he brings to the table. And what separates him from someone like Benito in his rookie year? Power. While Benito had to spend an entire offseason getting yoked up just to compete physically, Robinson already has that in his bag. He combines that strength with raw burst, making him a potential star in the making. And the ripple effect? Imagine opposing offenses trying to plan for that edge rotation. You've got Benito, Cooper, Ellis, Robinson, and Tillman all coming at you in waves. Then you realize you still have to throw against a secondary that features Pat Certain, Riley Moss, and Jaquan McMillian. Game planning against Denver's defense is going to be a nightmare. And speaking of McMillian, his physicality and instincts in the slot are becoming more valuable by the day. Whether it's tight coverage, run support, or blitz packages, he's showing the kind of versatility that Payton loves. It's not a coincidence that the Broncos staff continues to put him in high-leverage situations. He's earning that trust. Now back to the offense. Pat Bryant's performance may have flown under the radar for casual fans, but for those paying attention, it was a masterclass in situational awareness. On one particular play, against the zone defense, Bryant sat perfectly in the soft spot between a corner and a safety. The throw didn't get there, Ehlinger missed it, but the read was perfect. That kind of field awareness is rare for a rookie. Then later, in a must-convert situation, Bryant found space again, adjusted to pressure, and became the quarterback's safety valve. These are the kinds of plays that make a guy indispensable come roster cutdowns. And let's not forget Uwazurike, who not only bounced back from his suspension but led the team in tackles. This was a guy who many thought might not even make the 53. And now he's forcing the coaching staff to take a hard look at how they shape that defensive line rotation. With players like DJ Jones, Zach Allen, and now Uwazurike surging, the Broncos' trenches on both sides of the ball are quietly becoming a strength. We also have to talk about the attitude shift. There's a new culture brewing in Denver, one of accountability, intensity, and belief. Guys are flying around like their jobs depend on every snap, because they do. And Sean Payton has cultivated that edge. Every rookie knows they've got a shot. Every veteran knows nothing is guaranteed. And it's showing up in the tape, the effort, and most importantly, the results. And if you think the Broncos are done making waves, just wait until cutdown day. The big questions still loom. Does Eric Estime survive the cut? He's flashed potential, but is it enough? Do they hold on to all three quarterbacks? Or does someone like Jarrett Stidham get the nod while Ehlinger hits waivers? And what about positions like linebacker and corner, where depth is loaded and tough decisions are inevitable? One thing is crystal clear. The Denver Broncos are not the same team we saw 2 years ago. This roster is deeper, hungrier, and, most importantly, better coached. Sean Payton isn't just rebuilding, he's reloading. And Broncos country can feel it. So now, the stage is set. The regular season is on the horizon. Bo Nix looks like the truth. The defense is nasty. The rookies are balling out. And for the first time in a long time, the Denver Broncos are entering the year with confidence, talent, and expectations. If you believe this team can make a run, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop your thoughts in the comments. And make sure to check out the video on screen now for more in-depth breakdowns, player film, and game previews. Go Broncos!